Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan has always been a must-visit attraction for Nintendo fans, but with the grand opening of Donkey Kong Country and its thrilling new Minecart Madness roller coaster, its popularity has skyrocketed. If you plan to visit Super Nintendo World in 2025, being prepared is more important than ever. Here are some essential tips to make the most of your visit and beat those infamous crowds. Arrive extra early. To get the most out of your day at Universal Studios Japan, we recommend arriving 2 hours before the official opening time. Why? Because it's likely the gates will open earlier than scheduled. Our most recent visit was in February 2025, which is considered part of the slow season. The day we visited, opening time was listed at 9 a.m., but when we arrived at the gates at 7:43 a.m., they were already letting guests in. That wasn't even the craziest part. The crowds inside were massive, despite it being a relatively calm day on Universal's calendar. Everyone wants to ride the brand new Minecart Madness roller coaster. Even with an early arrival, you should set your expectations. On the day we visited, despite entering Universal Studios Japan before the official opening time, we still waited a whopping 3 hours to ride Minecart Madness. Insane, right? But this wait time is becoming a norm for the wildly popular attraction. If you want to ride Minecart Madness, first you need to get in line as soon as you enter Super Nintendo World. When we visited, the line was so long that initially we couldn't even find where the end of the line was. So if you see a line to the right side of the green warp pipe before you enter the warp pipe, that is probably the line. Ask an attendant, there will be plenty. This tip can save you 10 minutes just trying to find the line. And I have a sense that if you're able to enter the gates right when Universal Studios Japan opens, then your wait time for Minecart Madness will be significantly less. For some context, by entering the park before scheduled opening times, we used to be able to go straight to Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge and enjoy the ride within minutes. Be ready to book an area-timed entry. Super Nintendo World is the most sought-after area within Universal Studios Japan, and due to its popularity, the park often implements area-timed entry system to manage the crowd flow. If you want to make sure you actually get into Super Nintendo World, this is an absolutely crucial step. How area-timed entries work. The process is simple but time-sensitive. The moment you scan your park ticket and pass through the entry gate at Universal Studios, open the Universal Studios app on your phone and book your area-timed entry for Super Nintendo World. Alternatively, you can proceed to one of the kiosks within Universal Studios to book your area-timed entry. It's free to do so either on the app or at the kiosk. If you're one of the first people to enter Universal Studios and area-timed entry has not yet been implemented for Super Nintendo World, the app will say no timed entry tickets, in which case walk quickly to Super Nintendo World. This is different from the wording out of timed entry tickets, which will be displayed once the entries for the entire day has been allocated. Our experience with area-timed entry. In preparation for our visit, Heidi registered our studio passes, which we had purchased on Klook, into the USJ app. Please wait at least until the next morning after you purchase your tickets to do this. As soon as we entered the Universal Studios gates, Heidi wasted no time booking area-timed entries for the entire family. This was the very first time in all of our visits to Super Nintendo World that we actually needed to get an area-timed entry this early in the morning, even though we were inside more than an hour before Universal Studios' official opening time of 9 a.m. An area-timed entry was already in effect. Luckily, Heidi managed to snag us an 8:10 a.m. entry slot for Super Nintendo World. Here's why this tip is so crucial. On busy days, it's possible for area-timed entry slots to fill up completely. The only other chance would be for you to try for an area standby entry ticket, which is a lottery system. But if you don't win the lottery, you won't be allowed into Super Nintendo World at all. It's far from a guarantee, and there's always a risk that not everyone in your group will win the lottery. So to avoid the nightmare scenario of being denied entry into Super Nintendo World, take action immediately. The moment you're in the park, book that area-timed entry if it's required. Now I want to share some exciting news from Klook. the sponsor of this video. On April 21st, 2025, Klook is having an exclusive Universal Studios Japan event called Universal The Sound Party. You can choose between two packages. The first includes a one-day studio pass to Universal Studios Japan with a dinner and show party, plus the highly sought after, nearly impossible to get Express Pass 7 minecart selection. With the Express Pass 7, you get an area-timed entry into Super Nintendo World and scheduled access to Minecart Madness, Mario Kart, Yoshi's Adventure, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, and more. Or you can choose the one-day studio pass with dinner and show party. After a long day enjoying the rides at Universal Studios Japan, you can skip the hassle and end your day at Universal Studios in style with a buffet dinner and live entertainment you won't find anywhere else. Universal The Sound Party runs from 6 to 9 p.m. and is a great way to cap off an unforgettable day. We appreciate the commissions we earn when you use our affiliate link. Scroll down to package options and choose 21 April Universal The Sound Party combo, then select the package you want. Thank you, Klook, for sponsoring this video and having this event. We hope to see you there. Now let's go over important park entry rules. All guests are now required to go through a metal detector and all bags are scanned by an X-ray machine, just like at the airport. So please don't try to bring in prohibited items as they will deny you entry. Here are some important items that are prohibited. Tripods, monopods, and selfie sticks. Japan hates selfie sticks. Handheld microphones, no streaming allowed in the park. Most drinks, water being one of the exceptions, and all drink containers must be completely sealable. You cannot bring in any open containers. Most food. Exceptions are for babies. If you have allergies, please contact Universal Studios as the park does have some low allergen meals. I'll link to the page in the description. If you have oversized luggage, Universal Studios recommends using the coin lockers at Universal City Station. The maximum size is width 400 centimeters by length 590 centimeters by height 300 centimeters. 4. Consider staying at Universal Citywalk. If you find it hard to get to Universal Studios early, consider staying at Universal Citywalk. All the hotels at most are just a few minutes to the main entrance of Universal Studios. We recently stayed at Hotel Keihan Universal Tower and it was fantastic. Our kids loved the room and the service was top-notch. Visit on a slow day. Universal Studios has 5 different prices for one-day studio passes, A through E, with A being the cheapest and also the slowest days, meaning fewer people. E being the most expensive and the most popular days to visit. So if you can, try to visit on an A or a B day and avoid weekends. They will be less crowded and cheaper. When you purchase a one-day studio pass on Klook, you are not limited to an exact date. Instead, you can visit within the voucher validity period of 90 days on any day with the same letter as the date you purchased a ticket for. For example, we purchased tickets for February 18th, which was marked A on the price calendar. Unfortunately, we were sick that day and not able to attend. Luckily, the next day, February 19th, was also an A day, and we were able to enter with our Klook vouchers. 6. Express Pass. If you cannot get into the park early, but still want to be sure that you can enter Super Nintendo World and ride Minecart Madness, Mario Kart, Koopa's Challenge, as well as entry into other popular places and rides such as Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, consider purchasing the Universal Express Pass 7 Minecart and Selection. No, these are not required and you still need to buy a studio pass to go along with your Express Pass. But they do guarantee an area-timed entry and a designated time to enter the most popular rides, which means you won't have to wait in line for 3 hours to ride Minecart Madness. But as mentioned earlier, these usually sell out quickly and they're a little pricey. Other tips. Download and learn how to use the Universal Studios Japan app ahead of time. The last thing you want to do is wait until you arrive at Universal Studios and waste time downloading the app and learning how to use it. Every minute counts. If you already have the app from a previous visit, be sure the app is updated before you visit, as it might be missing important new features and information. Study the Universal Studios map and plan your day. Super Nintendo World is far from the entrance and located in the northwestern part of the park. Park re-entry is not allowed except for pass holders, so be sure to bring everything you will need into the park. With these tips, you should be able to gain entry into Super Nintendo World early, and hopefully the lines at Minecart Madness will be shorter. Next, If you're looking for a place to stay in Osaka, watch our video on the best places to stay in Osaka. Here at KENSHOQUEST, with our 20 years of Japan travel experience, we do our best to provide you with the most detailed information about Japan travel.